Welcome back to segment number 3. I'm Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster, and this guy, Art Dlugach, the voice of the Llano Yellow Jackets. Art, let's finish up just one more thought, because you had mentioned Schussler. I did see the same thing. I'm a full confession, big Texas fan here. I did see all of that, including the video last night at the Rio Grande Valley where he scored a run. Somebody RBI'd him in. But here's what I wanted to say. Cameron is very active on her social media, including Twitter. I know you have a Twitter account. When we wrap up here, I will pull up your Twitter account and make sure that you are her new follower so you can see what I am talking about. I just think she's the most complete softball player I've seen in a really long time.
Can you imagine an old man finally learning a Twitter? And I'm about to learn how important Instagram is. I used to think it was just for pictures and such, but apparently there's a lot of communication there too.
Yes, I have an Instagram account too. Maybe you and I need to follow each other on that.
I'm way behind there.
Let's talk some golf here, because Faith Academy had one Lady Flame who just played her district golf tournament in Victoria. Shot an 89, just one round in Class 2A. Finished second in her district to advance to the state tournament for the third time in 4 years. Her name is Libby Ross. Of course, I have that story on TexasChalkTalk.com. The only year that Libby did not advance, 2020, because of the COVID-19 pandemic, when all of the spring championships were canceled. Marble Falls did have one Lady Mustang, Maddie DeBard, finished 15th in the Class 5A Region 4 tournament, shot an 80-83 for a total of 163 in 2 days. So congrats to Maddie.
A little minor correction here. The COVID was getting underway in late 2019, and the spring sports were canceled in 2020.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay. Yes.
All of that was canceled. So stay-at-home orders. Go ahead with your update on the Jackets.
The Llano boys are set to play in the state tournament. That's May 9th and 10th at Jimmy Clay, a well-known course in Austin. And head coach Mike McIntosh, who's been in Llano close to 30 years. It looks like he's about 42 years old, so he must have started quite young. But everybody likes Coach Mac, and he loves golf, plays a lot of golf, and has been the coach for most of those 29 years. He's been the head coach of the golf team. So the youngsters who will be going to Jimmy Clay, Dylan Prokop, brother Ross Prokop, Brock Fly, Juice Lang, and Jackson Dillard. And we certainly wish them the best. It's great to get to state for sure. And they will get in a practice round or two and then play a couple of rounds, as I say, at Jimmy Clay. And we'll just have to see how the young men do. But they've already done very well to get this far.
Coach McIntosh, how many teams has he guided, Llano teams has he guided to state tournaments in golf? Do you remember?
No, but the two that have done the best, I remember very well. 2014 came in fourth,
yes,
and 2015 came in third, and I was there for most of those tournaments, and there were some exciting times, and then they had to win a playoff to win the bronze medal in 15.
Yeah, and was Llano in Class 4A at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I said this to Libby because one of the things that we talked about on the phone in golf, this is to me is what is rare for in golf. It's one of the few sports that I can say this about, but please correct me if I'm wrong. There are only specific times during a golf tournament that golfers can talk to their coaches. They're pretty strict about it. And I think typically it's after the 9th hole as they've stopped to get refreshments or, to whatever it is that they do before they move on to the back 9 or the last 9. I can't remember the front. I know it's the last 9 holes.
Back 9 is correct.
Typically that's really the only time they get to talk. So I asked Libby And I told her, I said, years ago, when I first started covering golf professionally, I was at the Artesia Country Club, and there was a sign on the back door that read, "Golf reveals your true character." And I do buy into that. I say all of that to you because for Libby, what I think she does so well is that she is so mentally tough, and that she has what we say about defensive backs. You got to have a short memory. You can't dwell on a bad shot. You can't let one shot define the rest of your round. Coach McIntosh seems to be able to teach the mental side of golf about as well as any golf coach I've seen since I've been back to the Highland Lakes. What is his secret to being so good at coaching this sport?
Well, you certainly delivered the best advice about having the short memory, like a defensive back who gets beat by the a pass or something like that, or even a run. And that's the main thing. That is very hard to instill in young golfers, because I was one myself once. I didn't get as far as playing in any big tournaments in high school, but played quite a bit and had a terrible temper, and that is absolutely not going to work. But Coach Mack, as you say, works with the boys closely, and they respect him because he does play a lot and shoots pretty well. And when he can get them to have as good a temperament as possible, they're going to do as well as they can. His assistant coach, Scott McDonough, is head of golf at the Llano River course, also Parks and Recreation, and has been involved in golf his entire life. And he's a good one, too, to help the youngsters. But besides this business of having the short memory, it's practice, practice, practice. I think that's true in most sports. It really is in golf. You've got to go out there every day, hit balls, play 9 holes or so, but mainly hit a couple hundred balls and practice around the greens.
Okay. Do you want to make mention of where the Jackets are going to have their regional track meet this weekend? Do you know where that is?
Yes. That will be at Seguin, April 29th and 30th. And the qualifiers on the boys' side, Dusty Miller in the 400 meters, they call it a dash. I don't call it that. That's long enough to be a run. And Aiden Guido, who will run in the 800 meters. Now, on the girls' side, Gwen Burnett was first in the 300 hurdles in area, so of course she moves on, and was second in long jump. Remy Easley, second in the shot put. The top 4 from area go to region, and then just 2 from region get to go to state. Sierra Hayes was 4th in the triple jump. 4x100, 4th place for Llano, Burnett, Paige Bauer, Avery Brooks, and Chloe Lucas. 4x200, 3rd place, Sierra Hayes, Brooks, Lucas, and Kiana Palmares. And 4x400, 3rd, Hayes, Palmares, Burnett, and Briley Crow. One thing, it's fun reading some of these names because I remember their sisters and brothers playing before them. And so that's a kick that they were just children then, and now they're in high school doing well. I want to say a quick word about Gwen, the outstanding athlete and shortstop for the Jackets. She was hurt, mild injury, but you never know. Night before in the game against Blanco, the 8-6 game regular season, and had to compete in area the next day. But she came up, they looked at her, she was all right, and as you can tell by these results, she did fine.
Sure. We are pressed against the clock here, so here we go. Marble Falls and Burnett, their regional track meets are Friday and Saturday. Marble Falls is at Hero Stadium in San Antonio. Burnett is at Challenger Stadium in League City. Marble Falls, all 3 of their pole vaulters advanced, and Logan Barnes, the discus thrower, also advanced. We will see what the Mustangs can do at regionals. For the Lady Dogs, all three of their relays advanced. So I'm curious to see what they will do there, as well as their 400-meter runner, and I believe a mile runner also advanced. On the boys' side, they had a couple of pole vaulters go, and of course, two of their middle distance runners, led by Hudson Bennett, who won gold medals in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200. Victor Aviles, the outstanding freshman, is right behind him in two of those events.
Hudson, the boy that never loses.
Faith Academy is also at a regional track meet this week. They are at Hart Patterson Track in Waco. That is a change in their schedule. Obviously, we have all of this on TexasChalkTalk.com. Please like, subscribe, and share the channel.
Can I have 30 more seconds?
30 more.
All right. Clyde Hart was the name that she mentioned. Hart was the first name of the Baylor track field. Clyde Hart was hired when I was at Baylor in 1963, and then he became a legend, and here he is getting the track named after him.
There you go. Okay, for Art Dlugach, I'm Jennifer Fierro, your broad podcaster. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next week.